For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right
You
now.
can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your
I'm
home.
taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
And
night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
but look, it's
All
gonna
right.
be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
Even though Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez said they wouldn't trash talk, it didn't take long for things to get tense. Their press conference quickly turned into a fiery war of words.
We are true fighters.
Yeah, two fighters.
True fighters.
True, yeah, of course. No, I'm not YouTuber fighters.
Huh?
Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah, of course.
They need to talk and talk about the fight because they want to say something. The people know we are great fighters. They want to put a great fight.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk
I am
about
sure in the end in the mid of September.
The respect between them disappeared fast as both fighters started mocking each other like bitter rivals. And it's pretty clear who kicked things off.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm
I
different.
see you too.
You see I'm
I see
different
you.
than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't look different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see it.
We'll
You know
see.
it.
We'll see. We'll see.
gonna
son.
In what's being called the fight of the century, Canelo Alvarez brushed off any idea that it would be a close match, especially with Crawford stepping up from light middleweight. Alvarez had already played down the hype, saying there's no real reward in beating someone who started out at lightweight. When asked if a loss to Crawford, who's been undisputed in 2 weight classes, could hurt his legacy, the 34-year-old Mexican calmly said, "He's not going to beat me. Don't worry, he won't win. But this fight will definitely go down in boxing history."
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
He's a great fighter, but he's not Canelo. "I have the experience," Alvarez said at the press conference. He added that critics only talk about his power but overlook the other skills he brings, calling this fight one of the best of his career. Despite being 3 years younger than Crawford, Alvarez turned pro at 15 and has built a legacy with 11 world titles, 27 title fights, and 67 total bouts, positioning him as the seasoned veteran ready to pass the torch. Still, he remained confident, repeating, "He's not going to beat me, don't worry," which drew a grin from Crawford, who calmly fired back, "These belts are coming home with me."
On the streets, you and Canelo, what would it look like?
Come on, man. Yeah, I know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it on the streets. I'm me against anybody. I ain't never gonna say another man gonna whoop me. So, you know what I mean? That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different. No, it's different. But we're not talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing. So that's different, way different than the streets.
Though 26 fights separate them, Crawford has built a legacy of his own with 19 straight world title bouts and the rare achievement of becoming undisputed in 2 weight classes. Now, he's aiming to make history as the first male fighter to become undisputed in 3 divisions, acknowledging Claressa Shields for already doing it on the women's side. "I'm taking those belts, and there's nothing you can do about it." "On fight night, you'll see, I'm not like the rest," Crawford said. Canelo, who's held titles from 154 to 175 pounds, wasn't impressed, replying, "You don't look different. Nothing new," before calling himself a winner and saying Crawford won't be the one to change that. "I'm different." "You'll see," Crawford shot back.
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running, I could tell you that. But I will be, doing a lot of touching.
Give me ground. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's no Canelo.
Alvarez turned pro at just 15 in 2005, while Crawford made his debut 5 years later at 20. Now backed by Turki Alalshik, Crawford called this the fight he's always wanted. I called out Canelo because he's the last big name from that older era. Floyd, Pacquiao, De La Hoya. We both came up during that time, but he got to fight them. I didn't. This is my mega fight. My moment, Crawford said. He hasn't fought since last August, when he beat Israel Madrimov for the WBA light middleweight title, while Canelo defended his 168-pound undisputed crown this past May with a win over William Skull in Riyadh.
Excited. I'm very excited, motivated, because this is all about. I want to make history, and I'm very excited for this fight. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be.
Canelo is now set to headline on Netflix at the Las Vegas Raiders' $1,065,000-seat stadium against Crawford, who remains confident there's no chance he loses, inside or outside the ring. Come on, man. You know what I do. I don't need to talk about it. Whether it's in the ring or on the streets, I'll never say another man can beat me. That's your answer, Crawford said. But Canelo quickly shut that down, replying, "We're not talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing."
However they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. It's simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No.
After the quick back and forth, host Todd Grisham asked both fighters about their mindset going into the fight. Crawford made it clear he's not worried about the judges. He's focused on what he can control. I can't think about the judges. I just have to do my job and control what I can inside the ring, which is to go out there and win clearly, he said. He added that any fighter can be knocked out, and while Canelo is tough with a strong chin, everyone is vulnerable under the right conditions. I always step up for big moments. That's been my whole career. This is my moment, and I won't let Canelo take it from me. Meanwhile, Canelo knows well the risk Crawford faces moving up 2 weight classes to challenge him.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
The Mexican star has proven success, even as the smaller fighter, and made it clear size won't matter when he faces the undefeated 2-weight undisputed champ on September 13th. I've been in that spot before, and I'm not focused on size, Canelo said. I'm just going to do my job, take it seriously, and prepare for the best fighter no matter their size. I'm a winner. I'm here to win. My mindset is different, and I'm thankful to Netflix, Turkey, and everyone involved. For me, this fight is about making history, and I'm proud to be part of it.
When would you say, from memory, that you first thought this fight was a real possibility, that you started thinking about this fight actually happening?
Well, I started thinking about it, a couple of years ago when they started talking about Spence fighting Canelo. Then just, sizing him up, like, all right, how tall is he? How long his arms and things like that. Just sizing him up like that and going to his fights and things like that.
As the fighters wrapped up, they sent messages to their fans ahead of the big night. Canelo promised, "I always come ready to fight and give my best. I thank everyone for the support and hope they'll be watching or cheering me on live in the arena." Crawford urged his fans traveling from Omaha to Las Vegas to show up strong, pledging to make history by beating Canelo and adding another major milestone to his legacy.
a lot of experts that think Canelo's not the same fighter. His punch output's a lot less. What do you think, considering, you know, the last 12 months or so? Is he the same fighter he was maybe a few years ago?
I think he is. I just think, you know, he just wasn't up for the Skull fight. And I think, you know, different fighters bring different, you know, energies out of other fighters.
A lot of people are judging you on the Madrimov fight, saying you struggled moving up in weight. You're going further up in weight, and they're saying that's going to go against you based on the Madrimov fight. How do you kind of...
Crawford told his fans, "Just suit up. We're about to bring home more jewelry. It's going to be an exciting day because history will be made. I'll be the first male boxer to become a 3-weight undisputed world champion. And I mean that." The fight will take place at the NFL's Las Vegas Raiders Allegiant Stadium, which holds 65,000 fans. It also marks the first event promoted by UFC President Dana White's new boxing company in partnership with Saudi Arabia's Turki Al-Sheikh, a deal that nearly fell apart but was saved in the past few weeks.
Oscar De La Hoya wasted my time with this question.
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights.
Turki Al-Sheikh took a seat at the head of the table, while Dana White was absent. The press conference opened with Al-Sheikh's remarks, where he shared that he had dinner with both fighters on Thursday night. But now, he said, the friendly moments are over, and the serious work of preparing for the fight begins. I want to thank these two legends, great fighters. In the end, it happened thanks to God, he said. Before midnight, we had dinner together and they were professional in front of me. But after midnight, all the prestige and respect disappeared. Now the real battle starts.
And after that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
As chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, Turki Al-Sheikh has led Saudi Arabia's huge push into boxing over the past 18 months, though he rarely sits front and center at public events with fighters. In his opening remarks, he made his expectations clear to these two great fighters, criticizing Tom and Jerry-style fights and demanding an intense, unforgettable showdown. During the start of the three-city press tour, covering Las Vegas and New York, media focused all their questions on Al-Sheikh before he left the stage, with nearly 25 minutes passing before either fighter spoke. Saudi Arabia has invested massive amounts in sports to diversify its economy, but faces ongoing criticism for using sports to improve its image. With Al-Sheikh now launching a new series of super fights on Netflix alongside a fresh promotional company, Saudi investment in boxing shows no sign of slowing down.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decided with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. You waste. Oscar,
I want to speak to you about some of Turkey's comments. He said he doesn't want Tom and Jerry, people running away in the ring. And what did you make of that?
I agree with that. You know, people want to see a good fight. And I agree with that.
Do you think
because, you know, people come and spend money to see a great fight, and if the other fighter come and run all the night and don't make a good fight, it's deceptional.
Turki Al-Sheikh, also known as His Excellency, is the driving force behind Saudi Arabia's rise as a major power in professional boxing and a wealthy promoter. He made it clear he dislikes Tom and Jerry-style boxing, a reference to fighters who avoid real action, saying, "I'm sure Alvarez and Crawford will bring me a fight full of smashing faces and blood because this is boxing." Though he didn't get into details, his message was clear. Both fighters must deliver excitement. Despite recent struggles, Terence Crawford faced off with Canelo Alvarez at a press conference in Riyadh ahead of their super middleweight title fight this September. Alvarez comes off a dull, unanimous decision win over William Skull in May, where the crowd booed as Skull avoided fighting, and Alvarez showed little effort to chase him. That bout was also the first of Alvarez's 5-fight deal with the Saudis.
Waste my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
All right, on the left-hand side here.
Think he saw your fight with Skull and potentially came to the conclusion.
and we talk after. We talk after about that, and it's very sad. But you know, it is what it is.
I know.
Crawford will do that.
I hope not. I hope not, because we expect a great fight, the fight of the century, right? So I hope not.
Crawford hasn't fought since August 2024, when he scored a memorable unanimous decision win over Israel Madrimov. Like Alvarez, he faced boos during a fight with no knockdowns. Turki Alalshik mentioned he didn't want a typical 12-by-12 ring, hoping to encourage more action, but still thought it was smart to have dinner with Alvarez and Crawford before the press conference. "We talked yesterday, and they were professional," Alalshik said later. "But I think since last night, they know what they need to do." Neither Alvarez nor Crawford showed any sign that Alalshik's remarks would change how they plan to fight at Allegiant Stadium, home of the Las Vegas Raiders, for the undisputed super middleweight title.
You heard His Excellency saying no more Tom and Jerry, no more running, but you're moving up 2 weight classes. It's not going to be smart for you to stand there and hammer it out with this guy. So how do you kind of balance that, not running, but being elusive in fighting Canelo?
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running.
Crawford, 37, is moving up 2 weight classes, 14 pounds, to take on Alvarez at super middleweight. Fans might hope for a toe-to-toe battle that delivers the excitement Alalshik wants, but Crawford isn't promising that. "I'm not going to let anyone tell me how to fight," he said. "I've been fighting my whole life. I'm not running, that's for sure, but I'll be using a lot of skill and movement." Before his fight with Madrimov, Crawford had won 11 straight bouts by knockout. Alvarez, 34, says this fight will make history, though his recent fight against Skull told a different story. It was a dull match. Still, Alvarez insists, "We win. That's what matters."
Well, listen, I called Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. We both came up in that era, and he was right there with those fighters, and he got the chance to fight the Miguel Cottos, the Floyd Mayweathers, and you know, the Kovalevs and Triple G's, and I wasn't able to get those.
If Alvarez was paying attention at dinner or the press conference, he'd realize that winning alone isn't enough for Alalshik, or for most boxing fans.
Your Excellency, Tazzy Brown from AustraliaFightHot.com. First of all, congratulations for everything you've done for boxing since you've come into the game. You've gave us many great fights, and you continue with Your Excellency to keep giving us greater fights. You're a boxing historian yourself. Do you think this fight resembles Marvin Hagler Sugar admitted in the 80s? The fact that Canelo and Terence Crawford are the 2 great pound-for-pound legends, both first ballot Hall of Famers in the future.
Alvarez hasn't scored a knockout since 2021, when he stopped Caleb Plant with an 11th round TKO, something His Excellency might bring up at another dinner with Alvarez and Crawford. Back to the fight, the news conference ended with the usual face-off, shifting attention to the 2 men set to battle for the undisputed super middleweight title on September 13th in Las Vegas. It was the first time Alvarez and Crawford spoke together at a press event since the fight was announced.
Terence cannot do it.
No, don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's not Canelo. Obviously, I'm been in this situation for a long time, and I have the experience. They only focus on my power, but I have more than that, and I think this fight is gonna be one of my.
Dramatic music played as the stare-down unfolded, with Alvarez the first to break eye contact, keeping a calm, emotionless expression. Retired three-weight world champion Shane Mosley, who fought Alvarez in May 2012 at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas but lost in his bid for the WBC super welterweight title, shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight. In an interview with Boxing Social, Mosley was asked if he thinks Crawford can beat Canelo, especially with Crawford, 37, moving up 2 weight classes to face the Mexican star. "No, I can't see it," Mosley said. "Canelo's got skills too. It's not like he doesn't. If they both fought at 154 when Canelo was at his prime, maybe it'd be different. But now, with Canelo at 168, I just don't see it. I don't think Crawford has a shot."
I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think that the reason why, if Crawford was a mover like the rest of the fight, then maybe he can have a good chance with Canelo. But I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be his problem. He's a fighter. He wants to fight, and he can move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. And if you sit there and fight with Canelo, and he's that much bigger than you, then I don't know.
Since moving up from middleweight in 2018, Canelo has proven to be a dominant force at super middleweight, beating top fighters like Gennady Golovkin, Jermell Charlo, and Jaime Munguia. If Crawford wins, he'll make history as the first male boxer to become undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes. That's it for now. Stay updated on all the biggest news, moments, and action in boxing by subscribing to our YouTube channel and turning on notifications so you never miss out on quality content like this. Until next time!